All right, welcome everybody. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Bruce. It's been a long time since I've gone live, um, but today, just in case there's not too much to talk about, I had my state inspection. When was it? Maybe almost 2 weeks ago now. It's a whole bunch of clips. It's like 30 minutes of footage, and I just thought instead of going through all the hassle of editing and like voiceovering, I would just kind of naturally play it and do it live and see what happens. I might still end up eventually editing it if I get around to it, but I thought it would just be kind of just a relaxing thing to do. Nothing big. It went really well, as always. Let me just pop it up so I don't sit here and talk and forget all about it. But um, yeah, one thing to keep in mind as people watch this, if there's anybody that's new or they're used to watching channels, commercial beekeeping channels and things like that. My backyard has on this day had 67 colonies in the backyard. The inspector likes to look through about a third at most, really. But when you're looking at my yard, I purposely keep in mind that I don't treat my bees at all. There's no kind of artificial appearance of vigor and health that you would see that's boosted and you would see in these kind of propped up treated colonies that you might see on other channels. You know, they look really great, look really healthy, full of bees, all that stuff. But it's not because the bees are any good. It's just because they're just completely propped up and have every little desire met by their commercial, beekeeper. So keep that in mind. If my bees look good or bad, it's because of them. It's not because of that. The other thing is, I'm not a commercial beekeeper. I'm small timer hobbyist. Not everything is uniform. I don't have pallets with, 4 colonies on every one or 6 or however many they put on there. They're 10 boxes high. They're pretty, average, some bigger, some smaller colonies. And then the last thing is that I purposely steered the inspector towards my bottom third of my colonies. Sorry, I just drank a lot of ginger ale. So I had about 67, like I said. So ones that I knew just looked fantastic and beautiful. I didn't want to waste time going through those. Getting all the way to the bottom. I already knew what they looked like. I was trying to steer them towards the ones that maybe the activity didn't look great, and you'll see it. You'll see the ones that I steered them to. Some of them look like crap, and they had to be shaken out or combined. Things done to them to fix them. So you're not really seeing the best of what I have, but all that crap. That's just some disclaimers, because not too many people put up their inspection video. I don't know of many, but let's just play it. I'm going to stop it just to explain a little bit if there's something worth explaining. Here's just the first one that we looked at under my little lean-to. This was a removal.
Never fails. Start to make a video. Lawnmower startup.
Some of my conversations are going to be really cringy to hear myself. I'm not used to hearing myself. It doesn't look bad to me. Some uncapping. Recapping. If anyone has questions, you can put them in the comments. I'll stop and answer them or whatever you got to say. I don't mind stopping to talk about stuff. So here, very, very briefly, looking through my little top bar hive there. He doesn't really get to look through too many top bar hives, like nobody has them around here. It's just a little thing. But that colony there has recently had like 5 pounds of bees dumped into it. So it's actually, just in the past 2 weeks, has become pretty nice and heavy, and they got bigger combs, and they really improved over just the past little bit of time. How you doing, George? But I think I only have like a 5-second clip here. Some of these clips are kind of lame, and I always turn it off at the wrong time, like when something really good's about to happen.
Oh, yeah, let me grab it.
So there, I mean, that was just a little short clip. Here's my long Langstroth colony here. It has 2 colonies in it. And the one on the right is booming, just ridiculously good looking. This one that I told him to look in, to me, it looked like I didn't like it. But now we look at it, and it looks way better than the last time I saw it. So, oh well, it happens. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the way he splits these frames. I really do not understand why he does it like that.
So this one, just from observation, doesn't look that great. So I asked the inspector to just look through it.
So there's my annoying voice. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I hate the way I sound. But as I said, to me that one didn't look good. And even after we looked through it, it's not one of my best ones. It has a good amount of bees in it. It's queen rate. They're light, but they're gonna need to do some work.
And from the sounds of the way the frames are all popping apart, it sounds pretty empty. So
yeah, see how dry that is? That's totally empty.
not too confident in this one. Could be another shakeout. There was a land worker colony earlier, but I have way more bees than I thought I did. I thought I had like 50, but there's like 60 something out here. So they are queen right. There's eggs and larvae in there. Just looked a little empty to me at first.
So just in the past 2 weeks, hives have actually really been putting on some weight, which is not normal for us in the fall.
Cannibalizing some of the brood. Very spotty pattern.
So here the inspector, his name's Jeff. He kind of says the same things he's been saying to me for almost 10 years now. Ever since I started registering my bees, he's kind of been saying the exact same thing every time, which is that they cannibalize brood. He says that there's parasitic mite syndrome. You'll hear him. He'll say snot brood. He says these same things every single year. Said the same thing as last year, and last year I had 9% that died. I don't know. None of these. I kind of, maybe he's just used to saying it to everybody. To me, it's fine. It doesn't bother me. It just gets kind of old. I don't want to tell him, hey, just stop telling me the same thing every year, because it's just repetitive. But I just let them go. So you'll hear him say this a lot. Something about bad brood pattern and spotty brood. It's repetitive.
Here.
In my opinion, that one probably might not make it if they don't really start putting something
Going
away.
into the primal hive.
Primal hive.
Yeah, that's all big cells.
You just saying cringy shit.
If this was my hive, I'd put the drone brood to the wall.
Yeah, definitely.
If you want, we can try and do that.
But is it flat on the other side? Okay.
So yeah, so what he's saying is, since that's basically a storage frame and it has brood cells at the bottom, that should be on the outside. And I agree most of the time. But the thing about that colony there is I never rearranged those frames. I never moved them. Everything that they built that way is exactly how they built it. And also it's a little wonky because it's they're all foundationless frames. So they don't really fit in any other way, but even if they did, I would still, just for the hell of it, leave it the way it is. That's like a super insulated hive. They can move around freely in there all winter. They don't need to worry about what us humans think is like such a hard task of walking around combs or whatever. They know what to do. There's all different ways around these frames. The bees know what the hell they're doing, and they're going to be in a warm environment, so it's not like a wooden box where you really gotta make sure everything's perfectly set up all the time. But so I decided, no, I just wanted to leave it the way it was.
I think for now, just because.
I must have these out of order, but what I said was exactly what I just said, but not in so many words.
This little bunch of bees here made a ton of honey this year for their size. Strange. 3 deep nukes of honey, and now they have this one full again, but I'm leaving that one off.
You want to pair that up?
So that past one there, let me see if I can back up just a minute, is just kind of a demonstration of how I got just so many different random sizes of hives and just in different spots. I mean, that little nuke, I just stack it up a few boxes high, and for some reason that little nuke, just like I said, made 3 full 5-frame nukes of honey just for the heck of it. And I had a queen excluder on it before. I took it off and they filled it back up again, and I'm leaving it there. I don't know why some bees, just for the size of the colony, make a relatively large amount of honey. Those are old bees that I've had forever. That wasn't some new colony. Yeah, and they're gonna sit there again for another winter. I like those bees there.
3 deep nukes of honey, and now they have this one full again, but I'm leaving that one off.
You want to pair these up?
No, thank you. Appreciate it. Should be okay. So this one, I don't know. Give me weird vibes.
Oh god, I say the most dumb
looks strong
stuff.
and looks weak at the same time.
So where the hell is this one? Okay, that's the one that's over by, see over there on the right side, that plant. That's I forget what plant that is, but I know right where that one is, and it's 3 boxes tall. But when I put it there, I had a lot of bees, but some days the traffic seems slow for some reason. Then other days it's just booming. So I didn't know what the heck was going on there. At one point I thought they got robbed maybe like a month ago. But they obviously didn't because the 2 boxes on top were pretty full. And I was glad. I'm pretty sure this one turns out fine.
Somehow. Weird drone brood in there. That's basically a whole drone frame.
I mean, it has a good amount of bees. They're ramping down brood, it looks like, because normally that thing would just be a lot of just brick wall brood in there. I mean, there's some, but this is what a lot of them are looking like now. There's very little feeding going on in my place. I do have fondant on a bunch of light ones just to keep them stimulated to have some energy to go get stuff and to eat overnight, but I don't have any liquid feed on anybody. I'm not open feeding, no frame feeders, nothing like that, just some fondant. On maybe, how many bees do I have fondant on? Maybe like 8 colonies, 8 or 9.
Okay, brood. Check another one.
What's up, Wes? How you doing? Just going over my state inspection video from a couple weeks ago before I forget what was even going on.
Good.
Let's see, which one is this one? Okay, this is another one that I thought. It's hard to pick the 20 worst colonies because everything besides these just looks fantastic. And in most cases, I was wrong. There's nothing wrong at all. I just looked at them wrong in the wrong time of day, and I don't get into them that much. Look at that scenery. That's where I got my thumbnail from my other video. It was like the most perfect day ever.
This is one of my half foundation sheets. You can see it with the light going through it.
So I'm yapping.
Maybe like a third.
Yapping through this video because I was planning to edit it and post it. I'm going to show my feet. All right, what's this one? This one I think turns out to be queenless or land workers or something. Land workers.
So here's something interesting. If you
all right, here, let me tell you something interesting.
If you catch it real.
So, like I say in a lot of my videos, if you're looking at the frame, you see how I can't use my pointer here, but the bees are all around the outside. They're not looking at they're not in the middle at all. That's always a bad sign to me. Like when they're just all around the corners and the bottom, it's definitely a problem right away. I don't know if he says that, but he starts pointing out other stuff. Let's start this back up. But
early, they'll put the eggs on
on top of the pollen.
Yeah. They'll also build queen cells off of bee bread. Like if you catch them right before they go laying worker.
Yep.
And again, like they can get tested with stress, laying worker, high stress environment. first cell.
All right, so let me pause that for a second, just for my own notes and explanation here. The one we just looked at, right here, this one, the one that we just found was land workers. I'm not sure if we got footage of it, but later in this day, we found a small colony that was weak but had a laying queen. Like, it had a laying queen and a good little amount of brood, but I don't know where the hell all the bees were at. And they had nothing stored. So I just took the box and put it right on top of these bees here, this queenless colony. No paper, nothing. Just slapped it on there because it was a loss to me. And I checked them yesterday, and the queen is still in there, and she's laying. So they accepted her. I would not have bet money on a laying worker colony accepting a queen. But for some reason they did. It's just so I just turned two kind of crappy ones into one a little bit crappy one. This one is one of my favorite genetic lines of bees here. My favorite ones. I love these bees. They don't look great here. I don't like that frame.
I think it's some fine combs in there.
These bees were from the deep forest. I have a lot like that, but they're just dark black bees. Really, I just like them a lot. Of course, never treated, never given any help whatsoever.
Going into a little nuke that I'm not 100% sure if they.
And the one I'm still talking about that we've moved on from. It looks good now. I was just in there maybe the day before yesterday, and then they're packing it away. I'm going to put a mouse guard on them, and they should be good. Now, this one here we're looking through, this was a weird one because he says they're laying workers, which I don't disagree. I mean, I didn't really look that close. I was just letting him do what he was doing. But then we find a queen in there too, so that was kind of confusing. And I'm in the process of combining a stronger nuke with this one pictured here. I'm just moving it over slowly to that spot, and then I'm going to pull this queen out.
Requeen themselves. They're looking a little sparse.
So this was
probably.
This was a split that may have swarmed later and then didn't get this queen well mated up. I don't know what the heck's going on here.
Drone brood, mini drones.
Oh, there's mini drones in there?
Yeah.
Alright, so, alright. We got another shake. Oh, no, I see a queen on this side. That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, big one right in the middle.
Yeah.
Alright, so I said full disclosure,
Well,
this one did.
So what can happen, I mean, anybody knows this. It's not like my discovery, but that little one that we just looked through was full-blown late-stage laying workers with the tiny little drones in it. But I have had some swarming on my yard, like little like softball clumps of bees with unmated queens in, and one could have slipped into there somehow. It's just a possibility because I don't see why a queen that big was in there and laying the way laying workers do on top of pollen. I mean, even if she's not mated or is just laying drones, she's still going to lay single eggs, not on top of pollen and 50 in this cell. So it was just a weird situation. We'll see what happens. I'm just pointing out the worst ones, the inspector. This one here we're about to look at was extremely mean, extreme defensive, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Took my lunch money, took everything, stung me ankles, hands everywhere. I couldn't see. They're really bad. back in like April or May. I did requeen them, but I didn't trust them, so I just left them alone. And then I told them they were mean, but you'll see we go through it, and they're back. They're normal now. There's nothing about them, nothing to them.
It absolutely annihilate me back in April. Yeah. So we'll see what they're doing.
So the first box came off very heavy. That it was packed. Somehow they have brood up here, so I don't know what's.
Have that totally full. It looked heavy as hell, and then looks like they might have brood up here.
Yeah.
Figures the meanest ones I have, but they do have a new queen. Oh, look at that, good.
And to me, that brood looks really good, but that was like the best looking frame.
I put a shallow there. Look at that.
I mean, that looks good to me. I don't know.
Cat pre-pupa here.
So here he's gonna pick me apart.
Past, I'd call that sack bird. It definitely could be, but I'm less confident in sack bird than I was.
I mean, to me, overall, that just looks beautiful. Like on that side, it looks like a perfect frame.
Yeah, but I mean, it should be capped at that stage, so they're uncapping it. And Varroa's at the top of that list of reasons why.
Yeah, this is the same thing I hear every year. No big deal though. That's what he's supposed to do. In this county, I've had shit. I don't even know.
At least
Since
they're calm down.
2018.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was everything was glued together real good here. It's hard to. It's common for them to get nasty when you're prying the frames off.
I don't understand stabbing the frames like that though. I'll never understand that. Wes says he had a hive.
Also, like if you're looking at the cat brood for disease or whatnot, you want time for the disease to develop. So like these are uncapped and they're like white-eyed, pink-eyed stage. Whereas that other frame looked really good mostly, and it was uncapped pre-pupa, so it's only capped, a couple days ago. So the longer it's capped, the more time they have to uncap stuff. So more of a spottier appearance here.
This is kind of a late swarm, but I think they've been working pretty hard.
So the last one, even though I had it for a long time, they're requeened, but I don't remember exactly what I'm sure it was my own queen. I don't buy bees or queens, but we'll see how it does. I mean, it sucks that bees I had for so long turned nasty, but they were. I don't mind a little bit nasty bees, but that was way too far. I don't like wearing a big full suit. What was this? This is just one of my yard swarms. I just wanted to see how they were doing.
Hoping it looks good in here.
So a lot of my colonies are doing this. They just have good coverage of bees everywhere, but just not much brood at all. Little bits. And at this point here in time, 2 weeks ago, we were just waiting for goldenrod to actually open up all the way, which it's still not totally open. And the jewelweed and everything the jewelweed is now wide open. It's just going. It's almost done. So there's some brood, but asters have not started at all yet, and there's so much asters. It just has to bloom. That's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a really good fall. I really do. And the field across the road from me is like 100 acres of freaking alfalfa that's probably gonna bloom. Um, I'm looking forward to a good fall and winter. Oh, what is this one? Hold on. Which one is this one? Hold on. Which one is this one? I gotta look at the surroundings here. Uh, Crap. I don't remember which one this is. I'll have to watch a little bit more. All right, where am I?
It's not rude here.
Oh, okay. This is one that I've never even looked in. It was swarmed from my own bees.
Here.
Yeah, this one I put in the box and I never opened them up.
Parasitic mite syndrome. A couple others there.
Is this one you think would have a high mite load?
Oh, let me pause here.
Yeah, but like it's showing mite damage.
Okay, so let me pause here just to say, at some point before this, I said that I would like to find one that has a high mite load, which whatever the inspector thinks looks like it has a really high mite load. I said let's find one with a high mite load, dual wash on it, so that I can see if it survives. Like let's find one that has a 10% or 20%, whatever the hell these treaters cry about. So this one, he started talking about mite damage and everything, and there's PMS and all this shit. So you hear me pipe up and go, "Is this one? Is this one that might have a high mite load?" And then he explained something to me. I don't really understand. It kind of goes. It's kind of like a lot of words, and I don't know. Maybe it makes sense to treating beekeepers, but it kind of goes this way and that way. And at the end, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but he was kind of explaining why. Pre-explaining why this colony is going to have a low mite load or something. So testing never did happen. It just never happened.
I would call mite damage. You still have a pretty decent brood pattern. You still have a pretty good population, but if we test it, sometimes especially like full-blown parasitic mite syndrome, where it's the tail end where the population's decreased a lot of times those will wash pretty low mites, so it can be hard to people believe that it's mites when the alcohol wash doesn't show mites. But at this stage I would expect them to have a decent mite load.
See, so I don't know which. After all that, I don't know. They have a lot of mites in them, or do they not? That now that I know exactly where those bees are, they came out of an old ass stone building, which don't matter how old the building is, but it's another deep forest, old 1700s house. The dude owned the whole world in that area. There's no beekeepers there, and the bees been there a while, and they've been in on my yard now for probably 3 years, and they probably look this way every year. I don't know. Yeah, that's not the swarm from this year. You can tell by the dark comb. I got that thing mixed up. But yeah, I just wanted to test something, but we never did test anything. I'm not gonna do it myself. Let's play this. Is the sound? Oh. Yeah, that's the stone house colony from a couple of years ago.
or anything. It was just kind of, it was average. It looked okay, but yeah, I noticed the activity was really low lately.
Oh, here's the
I
one.
think they may have just absconded.
Here's the one that looked really bad, but they do end up having a queen somehow. This is the one that I combined with that other queenless laying worker colony. That somehow they accepted her. We'll see what happens with it.
For the most part.
It's possible. The board's relatively clean. Not clean, but I've seen them abscond with small hive beetle.
Yeah.
Saw beetle on the bottom. There's beetle larvae in the pollen here. So could have been an abscond. But that one has a larva or pupa or whatever on the top bar.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've had a lot of beetles this year
mites
everywhere.
weakened it, and then beetles kind of took a hold. My guess. There's a little bit of activity here, so maybe there's some brood there.
Yeah, just yank that bottom box out of there.
Yeah.
So here we find a queen here. At some point.
So uncapping brood, cannibalizing brood. Very, very weak. So probably didn't abscond, or definitely didn't abscond. Yeah, just a lot of cannibalized, really spotty, really low worker population.
I think they were just starving. There's just not a lot of bees in there. I think that was a small swarm, and I don't know.
Well,
Definitely, I remember they're from my yard.
It bounced back. I did give them a new queen, and they look way fuller than they did before.
This colony here, I thought they got robbed out, but they didn't. This is another one that just I didn't think looked good. I think I combined that top box there with this lower box because it was queenless. If I remember correctly. And I don't remember. I think they look okay. Let's see.
Okay, yeah, they bounced back a little bit.
Let's see. How much longer does the video go? Not much longer. Let me see. About 5 more minutes of just footage from the backyard. You hear the chainsaw going in the background. It was so loud. It's so loud every time I try to record something.
pretty good, but again, they're starting to uncap some stuff here. This one they're cannibalizing. Uncapping a little bit over here. Like these, it looks like they're going to recap. Often they'll raise the cell wall up like that. Sometimes.
So I don't know. I don't go either way, but what I hear so many people talking about is how uncapping and recapping is such a good thing. Like it's such. So here it's kind of like explained to me like it's a bad thing. I don't really go either way with it. All I go with is how many are still alive. So, and I don't know if I have a correlation between this uncapping shit and recapping the way a lot of people claim there is.
Cannibalize it.
He calls it cannibalizing.
Precursor to parasitic mite syndrome.
EMS again.
Have action, uncap more brood, and cannibalize more brood. So like July is probably population peak, so the old bees start dying off, and then the replacements, often with parasitic mite syndrome, are dying in the pupal stage. And the colony kind of crashes out.
Can you imagine holding a frame like that? Like it's not a bad looking frame, and just explaining that they're crashing out. And this is August 28th, or August 28th. We're well way into like the time of the year when everything should be crashing down around us, and all my bees should be fucking dead like every year. Like every year they're supposed to be in August, and this is my worst colonies. These are my worst ones. And now since this, we've had a lot of nectar and pollen. Everybody looks better. I don't know.
Really weak colony. Both ends of the age spectrum are dying off. More cannibalized brood there.
I would not bet on that one dying.
Easy to kind of look at that and say, like, that looks pretty great. But looking closer, you see some damage. Like these, they already recapped.
Mm-hmm. That's good though, right? I don't fucking know. I'm confused. I just wanted to get it over with. This is the one over by the peach tree. I'm pretty sure those bees are from the
broken frame.
They're from the sprayed colony me and Craig removed like
you can just yank that off
a long time ago.
Or I'll get it. I'll get it.
This one looks fantastic for untreated bees. With a bunch of mite bombs going off around them, I guess, and just a shitty beekeeper.
Foundationless new frames from this year, so they're off center a little bit. Just gotta make sure that one goes back in.
So one of the very first colonies we looked through, I didn't get footage of it. I didn't start recording yet, but the very first one was queenless. They were dwindling. I don't think they were laying workers yet, but they all right. I lost whatever. I lost service there for a minute. Oh my God. I don't know if people are able to see it. It just keeps cutting out. But the bottom box of that one I was just talking about, the queenless one, I just shook it out because I had a nuke right there next to him. And all those bees flew back and went to the nukes, and I have a stronger queen right nuke. This colony here has a half an extra box of honey and some room to put more honey in it. And I got one less dink piece of shit colony. So let's finish this up before my whole thing crashes.
The way they're setting that up is really interesting to me. They got honey on the left and then brood on the right.
Yeah, I'm just cringy as shit. It's embarrassing. There you can see I have my frame bottom flipped over. But this one looked great. I just got to put mouse guards on it.
I'm raising so many drones this late.
I think this might be the last one we look through. Oh yeah, it has to be.
That's a fat comb.
That's it. It's about to cut off. All right, so there goes that. Let me get rid of that thing there. Thanks for hanging around and watching my review recap of my whatever you call it, state inspection video. If anybody has any last minute things they want to say, you can. Let me see. What is it? This thing is all. StreamYard looks very different since the last time I was on. They did a bunch of updating. But I'll paste this here. See if you have anything. There's like 4 people in here. YouTube really is not putting my stuff out there. I mean, I don't blame them. But I'll wait like 1 minute and then I'm gonna get on out of here. Let me see, did I miss any comments here? No. All right, and that's gonna do it for me. Watch. Wait, like 10 more. I know somebody's gonna try to get in here. No. All right, now before I lose service again, have a good night. Thanks for watching.